The opinions that you may hear us express, expressly or otherwise, over the public's airways, is in no way to represent the opinions expressed or otherwise by our management, producers, sponsors, or various members of their staffs or their families or few friends.
Nor should these views express the opinions of the broadcasters, the disc jockeys, the salesmen, the program and music directors, and their secretaries and girlfriends and wives and their staff.
Unless, of course, we are willing to assume that we can assume the responsibility that their opinions will not influence anyone else's opinions.
Or their family and friends.
And staff.
Easy. Just jotting it down.
Got all that?
Yeah. I forgot all those rules and regulations. I know we set them out at the beginning of this program. A little over year and a half ago, was it?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah. We haven't added anything new to them, even though we've got a new desk.
And the new desk is quite nice, I got to say. I'm really happy with the new desk. You?
Yeah, it's huge, yeah.
Got plenty of room to, get all of our stuff out here.
Do you think we should give the new desk a name? Like, you know how the president's desk has the name the Resolute Desk? Should we give this desk a name?
That's a great idea. Maybe we should ask for some suggestions for that. Yeah. It's I don't know, what kind of shape would you say this desk is? It doesn't really.
It looks like it looks like a tree.
I was gonna say, boy, it ain't a shape that I learned about in school.
No, it's a
No. I mean, if you look at the bottom or the one, well,
yeah, that'd be the
anyway.
trunk
It
of it.
has kind of a tree shape to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice desk. We like the desk.
We like it. We like it. I like the new chairs too.
The new chairs are wonderful.
The tiny, tall chairs are kind of cool.
Can roll around on them.
The other chairs,
nice.
you couldn't move them at all.
No, they were heavy.
Heavy as hell.
Yeah. But, yeah, they still have a few things they got to tweak in the new studio here, but, it's coming along quite nicely.
Yeah.
So.
Where did the heavy chairs go, I wonder?
They're right outside the studio there, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they're gathered around over by where
they
took the couch out, too. We no longer have a couch in here, and that's out in the, I guess, what was that, the lobby?
Where am I supposed to sleep before Gordy gets here in the morning?
Exactly. I don't know. Well, it's still out there. I mean, you can still sleep there.
I think they didn't think there was enough room back here. I think it would work.
I think you could put the couch in here.
If they just moved it over a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Well, we're just trying to move the deck chairs on the...
on the Titanic?
Is that what you're John and Gordy show Titanic.
Yes. And what episode number is this?
345.
No, we're 356,
356, I think.
56, yeah, I think that's right. Yep. And it's the last day of March. Yeah. March came in like a lion and is going out like a lamb, apparently.
You think so?
I think that might be right.
Did we have some kind of weather event last night? Because I was a little surprised this morning. Had accumulation of snow and frost on my car window.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious? No.
Yes.
Wow.
I didn't see any of that.
I used the car last night. We went out to get some sub sandwiches, and I'm thinking, did I not use the car at all this weekend? Now, I don't know what happened, but either somebody came over with a bucket of ice and threw it on my car window.
That's it. I can see somebody doing that.
Yeah, I think that's it. That must be it.
All right.
By the way, I bought a bunch of cans of black spray paint now, and I've got it in the car. So anything that I see...
Why do you bring that up?
Well, I brought it up because it seems like Sam has a can of black spray paint in his car and marks territory for the John and Gordy show everywhere he goes.
I'm a guerrilla marketer.
You are.
Yeah, I saw that mattress on, what is it, Gorham or Johnson?
On Gorham.
Gorham, yeah. And, it really jumped out at me. I didn't realize it was that prominent.
Yesterday when I woke up, I looked out the window, and somebody had taken the mattress, the wet, heavy, soaked mattress, and thrown it on top of somebody's car across the street.
No way.
And I didn't want to get in
Wow.
trouble for it, so I took it off of their car and I put it back in its rightful place.
Well, okay, good.
So,
So
if
people can see it again.
So if anybody sees some guy struggling with either roadside junk or something, it's Sam.
It's Sam.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Leave it alone, man. Stop it.
You put 92.7 WMDX on the mattress with your spray
We
paint
got to get
can.
the word out. We got to get the word out.
Okay.
Do you think that's the best
Advertising.
representation for the show? Well, it's an old throwaway mattress.
Yeah,
That's
so.
John and Gordy.
Yeah. It's cold out there this morning, by the way. It's like 30 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Would you like to know what the
Ice
afternoon
and
high
snow
would be?
fell on my windshield last night.
Yeah. Okay. Have you checked your
Something's wrong.
Samsung WMDX watch yet?
No, I have not really checked it out. I actually haven't entered the secret code on my watch yet.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, let's check out what the afternoon high may be. Let's get out the weather roulette wheel. and
40
take it for a
47.
spin. You're saying 47?
47.
All right, let's see what the weather roulette wheel has to say about it. Oh, that says red 46. Okay, so
Oh.
pretty close. Mid 40s today, mid to upper 40s.
All right.
And it's supposed to be a nice day as far as the skies go. Partly cloudy this morning, and we'll see a good deal of sunshine here and there. We'll check in with WMDX meteorologist Brittany Merlot.
It was
later
an
on.
interesting sunrise this morning. I kind of
Was
like
it?
it. I mean, you could see
you talking
you
about?
could see the horizon
It's not up yet.
driving into
This
town.
morning?
What are you
Yeah.
talking about? It's not up yet.
No, you could see a little bit out there. Well, I drove into town
Did you check the
from the
sunrise?
west side,
Are
and I
you
could
sure
see.
you weren't seeing the street lights?
No, I could see just very, very few clouds up there, and it was a really nice looking blue sky behind. And
Yeah.
I have I have two skylines that I see when I drive in. I see the skyline of University Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I catch the Capitol driving in.
Nice.
But yeah, it's going to be a nice day today.
Did you check the sunrise and sunset times on your WMDX?
You're on top of that. That's
Samsung watch?
6:41 this morning sunrise
41.
and 7:23
Okay.
sunset time. 7:23, just in case I might have confused you.
More and more sunshine. Well,
Yep.
that's good. Okay, national calendar.
Well,
let's
let's-
check
yeah,
it out
let's-
here.
yeah.
See what day it is or is not.
It seems like we did this last year too.
Around this time?
Same time.
Is it or is it not?
Yeah.
National Crayon Day? How about National Prom Day? Is it or is it not National Photography Day? National Clams on the Half Shell Day? National Bunsen Burner Day? Or National Tater Day? One of those does not belong. John, over to you.
It's not National Tater Day.
It is National Tater Day. You are wrong again. Okay. Sam, would you care to take a guess?
It's not photography day. That's my guess.
You are correct, sir.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Good for you.
I want you to look for something. See if you can find My Three Sons.
Okay.
Please pass the Bunsen burner. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Cue that up.
Just look for that. See if they have that clip.
Should we start with National Bunsen Burner Day? Because that's what it is.
Well, we got to give Sam a little time.
All
here.
right, then let's start with National Tater Day.
All right.
All you tater heads out there. Okay. Why is my computer not? Here we go. If you like spuds, National Tater Day is for you. The day recognizes all kinds of potatoes that provide us with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Potatoes, John, are quite versatile,
I know.
which might explain why so many people like them. They're the number one consumed vegetable in the United States.
They're actually a pretty healthy carbohydrate.
Mm-hmm. And when you consider how many ways you can eat over 200 different kinds of potatoes, there's 200 varieties?
Yeah, some are
That's
really
amazing.
soft. Some work well in soups.
Mhm.
Some don't.
First of all, you can bake them. Who doesn't like a baked potato?
Yeah.
You can, let's see.
Wrap them
What
in
else?
plastic wrap
blah,
and
blah,
microwave them.
You can have
and
mashed
have a nice
potatoes.
baked potato that way,
Yeah, mashed potatoes.
or steamed potato, I guess.
Yeah. Sprinkle them with herbs and cheese or a hint of salt. Try a new recipe. Okay, that's
Well, you
enough
just
on
put
National Tater Day.
You put sour cream in a potato, and it
Sure.
tastes wonderful. You don't have to put butter or anything fatty.
Mm-hmm.
Just sour cream. I guess there's fat in sour cream, maybe.
I imagine. Did you find that Bunsen burner thing from?
I'm finding quotes of it, like people talking about it, but I can't find an actual clip of it from the show.
All right, well, keep looking.
I'll keep
We'll
looking.
give you another couple of things here. National Crayon Day. Why? Opening up a box of crayons opens up a world of imagination and hours of fun. When was the last time you opened up a brand new box of crayons?
There's still something about a box of crayons that just is exciting.
You know, if you were a kid and you had that 64 color pack of crayons with the little sharpener in it.
I was going to say
man.
that big pack. I mean, you had every color.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you were just you'd have weeks and weeks of fun.
We have a guy named Edwin Binney to thank for the colored crayons that we're familiar with today. He was part owner of Binney and Smith, a company that produced products such as paint and pigments and slate pencils for schools. Back in 1903, he created the Crayola division. 1903. My gosh, that's a long time
Well, I just think that, a lot of those crayons and colored pencils that Crayola put out were some of the best ever. They put out a quality product. They really did.
Yeah. It's National Prom Day. Did you go to the prom in high school, John? Once or twice?
I actually did, for being an outcast, a loner. I went to both. I went to 2 proms. I can't believe I ever did that. Yes. Yeah.
I went to one prom. The other one, the girl dumped me the night before, so for somebody else. So that was a little disappointing.
The girl I asked dumped me a month before.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. But then she changed her mind, and nice then we ended up going, and I acted like a complete idiot.
Prom. Yeah. Okay. National Clams on the Half Shell Day.
Yep.
Okay, you like clams on the half shell? Big fan?
I really don't
sort
care
of a
about
New England
clams.
thing.
I really don't care about them.
Yeah. We got a text here from Catherine. You do not wrap a potato in plastic wrap and microwave it, John.
Yes, you do.
Do you really?
Try it sometime.
Seriously? Doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, it bakes the potato in the steam, so it's very simple, very quick, very fast.
All right.
I would recommend 3.5 minutes.
Okay. Give it a shot.
At 1,000 watts.
Well, it is National Bunsen Burner Day. Did we find anything on this?
We're getting there.
Named after Robert Bunsen, a Bunsen burner, standard lab equipment, produces a single open gas flame. We salute the Bunsen burner.
Okay, now if we can get this clip, I can explain it a little bit.
We'll have it in a little bit.
But I think we'll have Pam Yankee coming up right around the corner from the Midwest Farm Report, talking about food and agriculture and all things good like that. 18 minutes past the hour, you're listening to John and Gordy in the morning on WMDX. Keep it right here.
So, what was the actor's name? Do you remember?
Who?
Robbie's. He went.
21 minutes past the hour. Chilly 30 degrees. Highs today in the mid-40s. We are waiting to see if we can connect with Pam Yankee. In the meantime,
call letters in WMDX 92.7. John and Gordy in the morning show, and I got it. You pass the ball to me, I'm running down the field with it.
Okay, good. We're talking about National Bunsen Burner Day.
Yes, we are.
Each day, each year honors the birthday of the German chemist Robert Wilhelm Eberhard von Bunsen. How'd you like to have that name? Robert Wilhelm Eberhard von Bunsen.
Well, I'm sure glad they just called it the Bunsen burner.
The Bunsen burner, standard lab equipment, produces a single open gas flame. Labs use the Bunsen burner for heating, sterilization, and combustion. The gas can be either natural gas, usually methane, or liquefied petroleum gas, such as propane, butane, or a mixture.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we were talking about, the Bunsen burner in an episode of My Three Sons.
I don't remember this episode.
And it was an episode where Don Grady, the actor who played Robbie, Robbie was trying to figure out a way to have a conversation with his lab partner in school. And he didn't know what to say, and he came up with the line, "Please pass the Bunsen burner."
Pretty good line.
And the whole episode focused on "Please pass the Bunsen burner."
Really?
And it burned in my memory forever. I can't get it out. And I know that you saw a whole bunch of references online when you were Googling it, right?
I just found the section of that episode. If you want to hear.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's play it.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a very nice idea, Miss Fisher. Please pass a Bunsen burner. We'll take a two-shot of this tomorrow. The same thing you just did. Same action, same line.
I don't.
All right?
What's so funny about this, John? Like I can tell that the two lab partners are a little awkward, but.
Yeah, because he worked so hard at it. Yeah. No. Well, he talked about it at home. And he ran it by everybody in the family.
Please pass that Bunsen burner.
Please pass the Bunsen burner.
The thing about My Three Sons was it was all boys, and it was all men in this household, and somehow Fred McMurray played the lead role, and we don't know what happened to his wife. They never talked about his wife. It's like, I don't know, disappeared somewhere along the line, apparently.
Toxic masculinity in that house.
Yes. And then there was Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charlie. Were there two of them? There were.
Well, the first one was William Demarest, remember, from I Love Lucy. He didn't last very long.
No.
And
then the other one was Lovable.
Lovable? Kind of
cantankerous. They just changed the actor who was playing the same character?
I don't know if it was the same. I think it changed.
I think they changed the character, too. Yeah.
But the thing with Don Grady, who played Robbie, he went on to have his own group, singing group.
A rock band?
Yeah, the Yellow Balloon.
I don't remember them either.
And their very minor hit, top 100 hit, was Yellow Balloon.
Okay.
So they named their group after the song.
I just remember his hair was perfect every episode.
All the time.
Kind of longish, kind of like a Beach Boys thing he had going on.
Yeah, kind of a swish across from one side to the other.
Yeah. And there was Ernie, little Ernie there. And
Ernie was the outcast.
Yeah. And then the middle brother, I can't remember what his name. What was it? Let's see. Oh, boy. Now we got to do some more research.
Well, I know.
Remember the first
Tim
season?
Considine. He was the older brother.
Well, Tim Considine was only in the show like for a season, and then he went to college or something because they dropped his contract and they got Ernie in the picture. Ernie wasn't in the original first season or two.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now here it is. There's Stanley Livingston. Believe it or not, that's Richard Douglas. And then there's Barry Livingston.
Yeah. That was
Ernie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And Tim Considine, he was in some Disney stuff, and he was only in it for a year or two.
William Demarest.
Demarest
was the character, and it was Charlie.
Uncle Charlie.
Charlie Leslie O'Casey.
Okay.
And the other guy was William Frawley, who was William Michael Francis. Oh, my God. Forget it. I can't read it.
William Frawley was in I Love Lucy.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get all this straightened out here. Jeez. Because this is important stuff.
Well, It must
Okay.
be. Oh, no.
What?
Well, we
There's
got
more?
a frowning face from Catherine.
Why?
It's because you were talking about cooking a potato in plastic wrap.
Not advised.
Well, I'm
Not a good
I'm
idea.
working
Don't tell
on
kids to do that.
building up the microplastics in my brain.
You got to
that's
build
all.
a tolerance, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's that. Exactly.
So we never tracked down Pam for today, but we will get a hold of her later in the week and check in with
that's
her.
fine. She
All
probably
right.
told us that she was busy or
She
couldn't
might
do
have-
the program, and
might
you know
have
us,
mentioned that.
we never listen to anybody. So
Hey, guess what? A little bit later on, we will fire up our break into spring text to win statewide contest. Once again, all this week, you'll have chances every day at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. during those hours to listen for the keyword and enter into the contest. All kinds of great prizes like a Chula Vista getaway. These are the daily prizes. Chula Vista getaways, the Milwaukee Brewers club level tickets, or $100 cash, and each and every entry puts you into the grand prize drawing for a brand new queen-size mattress set from Burlow Mattress of Madison. So download that Civic Media app. It's really easy to do, and it's free, and free to use, too. And be listening for your chance to win. After 7 a.m., I'll reveal the keyword for that hour.
I feel much better now. Thank you.
I'm glad. I didn't know you were feeling ill.
Well, I was on the edge of my chair.
You know, I last night I went to, or yesterday afternoon, I went to High Noon Saloon. They were having that 10th anniversary Mama Care. It's a great thing. A lot of people were there. I saw Terry Barr there, and our own John Scott was there, and a few other people, and had three great acts. Sam Ness was there, Gin Chocolate and Bottle Rockets, great band, and then the Jimmies. Man,
Oh yeah,
Jimmies.
the Jimmies are still
Hadn't
back
seen
at it.
them in many, many years.
So
And they were great. They were just really fun.
Really?
Yeah. A good crowd there, too. And Jonathan W. Little was there. I thought it was him. I saw him across the room. I wanted to talk to him.
You did the old John Peterson.
I did the John Peterson. I was like, maybe that's him. I haven't seen him in so long. I don't know if that's him.
Yeah, I don't want
And
to
then-
bother him.
And then later I
won't
asked
say
Sam Ness, was that Jonathan Little? Oh, yeah. Because they're old buddies.
There you go. See,
Yeah,
you
so
never
I missed
talk
my
to him.
chance to talk
I
to
know.
Jonathan W. Little. Oh, well. Okay, it's 29 past the hour.
Let's go out on the Yellow Balloon here.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Only on John and Gordy in the morning will you hear music like this, right?
As the 21st century began, human evolution was at a turning point, a dumbing down, until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems.
Now listen, Grapehead. I'll explain it so even you can understand it.
We can duck and cover. There's a fallout shelter right there.
There's no way to survive this, you idiot!
Idiocracy.
For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
Oh, yes. More of Idiocracy coming up.
Hey, voting day is tomorrow. Have you voted yet? Did you do any early voting, John?
Yep, I did, actually. We had a later day for voting on Friday at Middleton, and I went out there right away. My wife said, hey, you have an extra hour here till 5. Wow, and I ran right out and did it.
Yep. You can register all the way up through Election Day, and you can find out more at myvote.wi.gov. That's myvote.wi.gov. I have not voted yet, but I'll vote either today or tomorrow. That's it.
I don't think you can vote today early. But
no, you don't think so? That's right. Maybe
early voting ended on Friday. But
that's right.
Speaking of elections, Doug has a text here about the last election. He says, statistics on the election show that more young men voted for Trump than anyone else. For your show to create change, you need to appeal to these young men. Join the manosphere, Gordy. Challenge John to a taser contest. See who can withstand being tased the most. Young men will tune in for that.
You think so?
I think they will.
Think that's a big tune-in
But
thing?
I'm not a big fan of the idea myself.
Tasing?
Maybe we should get Doug in the studio, and both of us could tase him and see who can tase him the most before we started feeling bad about it.
Yeah. Why not? We could do that.
I don't know.
Sure, Doug would be up for it.
Chip was the other son.
Right. Yeah, on My Three Sons. Yeah, Chip. Yeah. Chip, Ernie, and...
That's right.
What was the older one? Oh, it was Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie.
Robbie, Chip, and Ernie.
Yep.
Those were the three most sons.
How could you forget, the three main characters of a show?
Well, it's a little
titled My Three Sons.
Stanley Livingston was Chip.
And his brother Barry was Ernie.
Yeah.
They were brothers. They were
later.
actual brothers.
They brought him in later as a cousin or something, right?
Right, because Tim Considine, boy, how do we have to wrap this out? Tim Considine was in the first season, I think only, maybe 2 seasons.
A lot of people are trying to forget this show.
Tim Considine graduated and went to college, and we never heard from him again. That's when they brought in Ernie as the third son. He's not really his son.
Well, the funny thing, too, and I didn't mention this, not funny thing, it's stupid, but Robbie was also, Don Grady was also a musketeer, and Tim Considine was, I think, as well.
Yes.
He was one of
the original musketeers.
Yeah, he was there, and it was the Hardy Boys. He was one of the Hardy Boys.
Tim Considine?
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, that's before my time. I don't remember the Hardy Boys.
Yep.
Yeah. It was early Disney stuff, black and white.
And there was a ranch, too, where they all...
I remember the ranch.
He was there.
I
He was
vaguely remember they were on a ranch.
Remember that.
That was about it.
They sent these kids to a summer camp ranch. That's basically the story. Oh, my God.
Let's
help us all.
Okay.
We're descending in idiocracy.
Yes, we are.
Before your very ears. Oh, my God.
At least it's going to be a nice day to wrap up March. It's the last day of March. Highs today in the mid-40s. Right now it's 30 degrees.
I voted, but I didn't get $1 million for it.
You didn't?
No.
Elon didn't cut you a check?
For some reason, I wasn't wearing a red hat.
Well, you didn't vote the right way, John.
Yeah.
You got to vote the right way to get $1 million.
Well, we saw a clip, it's getting national coverage of Elon passing out the $1 million check to this guy with the red Make America Great Again hat. I guess you have to have that.
Got to have that.
$1 million. The guy's a millionaire now.
Well, good for him.
Well, I hope that Elon ends up in prison in Wisconsin.
I thought they were trying to stop it at the last minute. Josh Call put in some.
Well, he asked the Supreme Court to step in, but apparently that didn't happen.
Okay.
They were, they don't work on the weekend. Let's get to the most ridiculous news, and we'll probably have stuff on this tomorrow because I didn't have time to look it up. But in fact, I forgot to record it. But it was Trump saying that he's serious about getting a third term.
Yeah. He says there are methods to do that.
There are methods.
I think you have to have...
I guess the first method is to become king and dictator. and that takes care of second and third.
Right.
For methods.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah. I think 2/3 of the Congress has to go along, and then they have to pass an amendment. I mean, it's not, it's in the Constitution now that you can only have 2 terms. So they have to overturn that.
No, they're splitting hairs because it wasn't a consecutive term.
Oh.
It doesn't say consecutive in the amendment, though, does it?
Well, that's...
I think, I don't know,
where
I'm
the
pretty sure.
loophole may be. I don't know.
I think it does.
So far as I know, the maximum amount of time that a president can currently serve is 10 years. If they were vice president and then the president died 2 years in, they can serve the remainder of that term and then serve 2 full terms after that. I don't think that they can serve 3 full 4-year terms.
Well, you're probably right, but
but that's not
laws can be
him,
changed,
right?
Right, laws can be changed.
Oh.
They put that in after FDR. It was.
Now we're gonna. Here's the thing, he's just manipulating the press. He's manipulating the public.
It's just
another
thing.
Huge distraction talking about a third term. Now we're sitting here talking about a third term, and we're going to spend all morning talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We're not.
Instead of Signalgate, which still is ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another diversion.
Okay, I've got a cut here. Let's play this in Idiocracy. It's cut 265, and this is Caroline Levitt, the Megan android human that is programmed to say everything nice about our president. Let's listen to this. This is about Signalgate.
We have said all along that no classified material was sent on this messaging thread. There were no locations, no sources, or methods revealed, and there were certainly no war plans discussed. The Atlantic has even admitted this themselves.
No, they didn't.
Their release of these internal messages validates the truth, which we have been saying all along. If this story proves anything, it proves that Democrats and their propagandists in the mainstream media know how to fabricate, orchestrate, and disseminate a misinformation campaign quite well.
Projection.
And there's arguably no one in the media who loves manufacturing and pushing hoaxes more than Jeffrey Goldberg.
Projection.
Goldberg is an anti-Trump hater. He is a registered Democrat.
Oh, no.
Goldberg's wife is also a registered Democrat and a big Democrat donor who used to work under who? Hillary Clinton. This is the same Jeffrey Goldberg who infamously lied about weapons of mass destruction to get us into the Iraq War, which cost trillions of dollars and thousands of American soldiers. And how else has Goldberg discredited himself? By absurdly claiming that President Trump was Vladimir Putin during the 2016 campaign, by peddling the Russia, Russia, Russia hoax that tried to hijack President Trump's first term, by inventing the suckers and losers hoax to help Joe Biden in the 2020 election,
and that happened too.
By peddling a hoax about President Trump involving Gold Star families to help Kamala Harris in the 2024 election, which our campaign at the time vigorously denied. Jeffrey Goldberg didn't care. There's more, but we don't have all day, and we can now add this Signal hoax to this very long list.
Yes, it's Signal hoax. It's a manufactured hoax. Yeah. The Signal chat, that's manufactured. Everything it's funny. Why don't they just stop bringing that stuff up? They keep bringing up all the stuff that they're actually guilty of and deny it at the very same time. It is truly amazing.
And there's proof on that stuff.
All of it.
Suckers and losers, that's on tape.
Yeah.
I mean, all those things.
Mueller found a whole bunch of Russians that were trying to influence the election. Russia, Russia, Russia. It did happen.
I keep saying there's got to be this room in the White House just full of writers writing this stuff out. It's like a TV show.
Yeah.
It can't just happen. They've got to be planning this out somehow.
Yeah. They're in there.
It truly is amazing. It just the extreme version of projection. I don't think is there a medical term for that? There's got to be something that like malignant narcissism. They have
psychosis,
that. It's got to be malignant
neurosis.
Projection.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to the fertilization president here. This is cut 266.
God.
When Trump tries to ad lib and have a little bit of fun, it doesn't exactly work out the way anybody would expect.
He's proud of being the fertilization president.
I know. Let's listen. Let's listen.
Okay.
You're doing great on it, and we're going to have tremendous goodies in the bag for women too. The women, between the fertilization and all of the other things that we're talking about, it's going to be great. We're joined today.
What?
Fertilization.
What?
I'm still very proud of it. I don't care.
Really?
I'll be known as the fertilization president. That's okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. I've been called much worse.
Well, okay.
Actually, I like it, right?
Of course you would.
I like it.
Number of wives.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there you go. Let's go to the phones right now. Joe is on the line for us. Welcome, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, the fertilization president. Oh, my God.
I know. I'm going to add that to the list.
He's proud.
Oh, God, you just can't get close to it.
No.
I just, in the sea of misinformation, the sea of the stew that is Donald Trump and his administration, I just wanted to throw into the mix, just to commend to your listeners, I found a Canadian reporter that on Substack. His name is Dean Blundell. It's Blundell. And the thing that I find fascinating about this guy is it is a Canadian take on this whole we're going to take over Canada and how it might work and what has been chewing about because of that. And I would commend to them that there's an article with this wonderful title to it, Canada Just Trump's Ego. There's going to be a super corridor stage for a global power shift without America. They describe it as, quote, the maple curtain drops.
Maple curtain.
I love that. Yeah. That's great stuff.
It's this trade war, because apparently Trump really, really wanted to talk to Mark Carney, the interim prime minister, and Carney pulled a real apex predator move, which is not unlike Putin, which is he wouldn't take Trump's call. He just wouldn't take the call. And finally they got together, and after that resulted this lovely bit where Carney is saying we are no longer depending on the United States for anything. Bye-bye. The big breakup call, basically. We turn around, we're just going to be concentrating on ourselves, see you bye. And part of that, and it's really worth reading about, guys, in this guy's Substack, Canada, he got together with one of the things he got together was all the provinces to say we're going to have no more trade barriers between the provinces. They'd been kind of singular, if you will. And that action alone is going to add to Canada's GDP by 4 to 8% by just removing trade barriers between Saskatchewan, Manitoba, that kind of thing. But they're also going to be building this national corridor. It's going to be a way to have shipping from the northern territories where a lot of the resources are, energy, minerals, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a road, rail, pipelines, power lines, fiber optic cable. It's going to be called the First Mile Fund. And if you look on the map, you can just see, holy moly, they are in a primo space to be able to create something brand new by throwing us on the trash heap and basically developing what they have in their country in terms of being able to transport stuff to ports to be able to create, if not a global superpower, certainly a lot more powerful than they are now. So I'd really give people a heads up to look at this article because it sets out the Canadian system in a much different way than we hear in our national press. We still have this idea of Canada as the little brother who, can barely make it without us holding his hand and walking it through. And what Carney presents as an economist is just a completely different take on it.
Yeah.
It's just, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. We're going to be going on our own.
I think Carney has done a tremendous job of making Trump back down, I don't know. I think he has a chance of winning it as well. So as you say, he's interim currently, but great stuff. We'll look at the Dean Blundell article, right?
Very good.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Right. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, I got a cut of Mark Carney talking about this, so we'll play that next.
We'll get to that in just a moment. It is 6:49. And we're about 15 minutes away from our first Break into Spring Text to Win contest keyword. So that's coming up, too, on John and Gordy in the Morning.
We wish we could. Oh, no, there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good.
WMDX 92.7. John and Gordy in the morning. Boy, we've got a lot to talk about here. I mean, seriously, just talking about Canada, and we're going to get into the Prime Minister's comments about the U.S.
It's 6:52, kind of cloudy this morning. We'll see a lot of sunshine the rest of the day. Currently 30 degrees, highs in the mid-40s. And, yeah, we got lots of comments here.
Yeah, let's read one of these here. Mark, the Greenlanders have the MAGA hats, Make America Go Away. I love that. I'm getting one of those hats. I'm standing behind the Canadians on this one.
Are you?
Yeah.
And we got a comment from Doug in St. Francis.
Oh, wait, but by the way, that's a Greenlander hat.
Yeah?
They're using it now in Canada. So
yes.
Yeah, everybody's got it, and I'm going to have one.
You're really?
Yes.
Okay.
Besides the white hat, because of
Mike McCabe.
Mike McCabe's thing that he's doing with the white hats.
With the white American flag.
White American flag, yeah. No colors.
Let's see here. In 4 years, let's see. Let's read this one from Martin in Verona. Go ahead and run for a third term. We'll bring back Obama, you bloviated bag of bovine dung. Well, that's a nice thought. Thank you, Martin.
Yes.
Of Verona.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go along with that.
Okay. And
Mark says in 4 years, Trump will be 82 to 83 and suffering further mental decline.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't imagine what he'll look like at that point.
And Doug says,
Beached whale.
Doug says, Bill Gates recently predicted that in 10 years, AI will have replaced all but 3 jobs. Radio personality is not one of those 3. Thoughts? Well, thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Always thinking of us.
I think AI is way too smart to work as many hours as we work.
That's it.
We just got done filling in for Maggie Dawn.
Yeah, all last week. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Now we're just, back to doing the morning show here, which is fine.
All right, so let's play this cut from Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney.
Okay.
The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperation, is over. What exactly the United States does next is unclear. But what is clear is that we, as Canadians, have agency. We have power. We are masters in our own home. Nous sommes maîtres chez nous. We can control our destiny. We can give ourselves much more than any foreign government, including the United States, can ever take away. We can deal with this crisis best by building our strength right here at home. It will take hard work. It will take steady and focused determination from governments, from businesses, from labor, from Canadians. We will need to dramatically reduce our reliance on the United States. We will need to pivot our trade relationships elsewhere. And we will need to do things previously thought impossible at speeds we haven't seen in generations.
All right. Well, that's the end result of that. So, hey, good job, Trump. Wow. It's like the rest of the world won't react to any dumb thing that he does next. Oh, my God. Okay, now we've got Bill Maher here. Let's play this cut real quick. It's cut 279, and he leads into his commentary about Canada as well. Let's listen.
At that same speech, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, a Trump appointee, pissed off Steve Bannon because apparently the look on her face was not one of sufficient enrapturement. Bannon showed the video of her to his viewers and said, "That's not a look of admiration." Yeah, nothing too North Korean about that. So I know, my Republican friends, when you hear cult, you roll your eyes, but let me add one thing to it that you might not have heard. You know a cult is really a cult when the leader asks you to turn on friends and family, because they're the only ones who are a threat to deprogram you. It's why Tom Cruise doesn't talk to his own kid. Which brings me to America suddenly saying to our closest friend in the world, you know what? F Canada for no particular reason. I don't know for sure where Jesse Waters of Fox News stood on invading Canada 12 weeks ago, but I'm guessing it wasn't on his mind at all. But now his message for Canada is, The fact that they don't want us to take them over makes me want to invade. But Canada isn't threatening us. For God's sakes, their flag is a leaf. Even Joe Rogan, a Trump voter, said, "Why are we upset at Canada? This is stupid." Okay, MAGA people, that's called thinking for yourself. At the end of Trump's first term, there were still some people who would occasionally correct him on little details, like, "You lost that last election." But now we have Lauren Boebert saying we must rally behind President Trump to secure his third term, something Steve Bannon is advocating for as well. And you just know that soon the entire Republican Party will be on this page. Okay, there's no fuzz on this. It's as clear as 1, 2, 3. Presidents get 2 terms, not more, no matter how wonderful you think they are. It's written in black and white in the Constitution. Guys, you know this is wrong. You know in your heart this is the moment when Rome stops being a republic. So come on, be like those mice and grow a pair of balls.
There you go. Beautiful, sweet.
It's Bill Maher.
Short.
Yeah, saying it all about Canada. Boy. And on it goes.
I told my sons I was going to play Bill Maher, and they said, "That fascist?" So, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
6:58. Coming up in just a few minutes, our Break into Spring Text to Win statewide contest continues. I'll reveal the key word after the news, and also we'll check in with Brittany Merlot on the weather. John and Gordy in the morning.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
These are the times that try men's souls. In the course of our nation's history, the people have rallied bravely whenever the rights of men have been threatened. Today, a new crisis has arisen. Citizens, hear me out. This could happen to you.
People think I'm controversial, but the truth is, I'm a nice guy. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
I'm upset, outraged, and angered.
Everything you said was all a lie?
What I say is what I say.
Okay, I want a damn concerted effort. This a last damn time. I want somebody to use his brain.
This is a job for
John Peterson.
And Gordy.
Young. You're from the 60s.
I will tell you, this is going to be something special.
Just a show about nothing.
I don't have any answers for you. I don't give interviews. I just want to be left alone.
Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and my sister.
What is this ponderous, man? Ponderous.
Little ponderous, okay?
Ponderous.
Hey, could you see if you could find Randy Macho Man Savage? I thought I saw him walking around the station earlier.
He's here
could
somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. It is 7 minutes past the hour.
At WMDX, the John and Gordy morning show, and we were looking at CNN here. The big coverage, of course, was over the weekend, Elon giving out $1 million to a Wisconsinite.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more frustrating than seeing that Nazi on the stage with the cheese head on. I am, you know, that pushed me over the edge. Absolutely
really?
Pushed me over the edge. I'm really angry about that.
I understand.
That cheese wedge does not belong on that guy's head. All right?
Okay.
And no matter what anybody says, this guy is a white nationalist, and I'll call him a Nazi, but he is all of that. I'm going to give you a little proof here.
right.
I've got to cut.
Well, hang on.
Oh,
Get to
the contest. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get to that. Listen, I understand the rage. I do. All
right.
But let's get to the contest. It's our Break It to Spring Text to Win statewide contest. And, of course, during the 7 a.m. hour, also 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., you have chances to win the daily prize and get entered in for the grand prize. So this time, up for grabs during the 7 o'clock hour is a pair of Brewers tickets. That's right, the Milwaukee Brewers club level tickets. And the key word this hour to enter into the contest is NEST, N-E-S-T, like a bird's nest, NEST, N-E-S-T. Enter that in. You can do that by getting the Civic Media app, which is free to download and free to use to enter it in. NEST is the key word. That'll also get you in for the grand prize drawing. It gets that entry in for the brand new queen size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison. That will be the grand prize. And that'll happen at the end of this week. So again, the word this hour is NEST. You got to text that into us, and you have until 8 a.m. to get that word in. It is a statewide contest. Okay? All right. 9 minutes past the hour. All right, John. Back to you.
Well, all right. Let's
talking about Elon.
Yeah, let's get to this because there was a program on Democracy Now, I believe, and they were talking about Elon and his family and his history, and also some of his friends. So let's check this. This is cut 292, and listen to just a little bit of this.
And talk about their relationship, Peter Thiel and Elon Musk.
Well, they're co-founders of PayPal together. They both essentially share the same kind of worldview from what I can make out. They're, libertarians. They're very opposed to any kind of DEI. You've seen their deep hostility to DEI. I think Thiel buys into the same message about anti-white, the war on white people in South Africa that South African white groups like AfriForum have been pushing in the United States. So I think that philosophically they're very similar, and obviously they have a very close relationship.
All right. So that kind of gives you an idea of where he is coming from. And we've got this guy in Wisconsin passing out $1 million just because somebody voted in the Supreme Court election. And who knows how the person voted right? Well, he had a nice hat on, real nice hat on. And, it's not Make America Go Away.
No.
It wasn't that one. All right. So anyway, I've got some special cuts here, and I'm going to focus a lot on somebody out of New Mexico. It's a representative out in New Mexico, Representative Melanie Stansberry.
Okay.
She laid it out. I have 3 cuts here. I hope I can get to most of them.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think you're really going to kind of get into. It is her talking about what's going on in this country, and it is called the scam. All right,
Scam,
It
okay.
is the Elon scam. Let's listen to cut 281.
The FAA was infiltrated by Doge and by Elon Musk.
Okay.
It's my understanding that he replaced the communications contract for the FAA with his own Starlink program. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it's also my understanding that Mr. Elon Musk, who has also infiltrated NOAA, which is the agency that does our weather service and tells the Americans and the world that, what's going to happen with the weather, that there's also indications inside the agency that he would like to have SpaceX become the primary contractor for the satellite systems for NOAA. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we've also heard that Mr. Elon Musk, who the DoD secretary almost gave access to secret war plans for China last week, is also angling to get billions of dollars in new contracts under the Department of Defense. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Unbelievable.
So I don't know about all of you guys, but this sure looks like a scam to me. I mean, right, they're calling it waste, fraud, and abuse, but really what we see is a special government employee who's a private businessman. He's the wealthiest man in the world, and he is literally infiltrating these federal agencies that he has a personal financial interest in. He's cutting the programs, he's eliminating staff, and then he is essentially positioning himself to put into place private contracts. Now, I also want to take a minute to talk about some of the social programs that we're also highly concerned about, because as we know, our colleagues across the aisle passed a resolution, a budget framework a couple of weeks ago here in the House that is setting the stage for one of the largest tax breaks in American history to go to billionaires. So they're robbing the federal government. They're getting ready to give themselves massive multi-billion-dollar contracts, and then they're going to rob our most vulnerable members of our communities, low-income families. They're going to dismantle the Medicaid system. Now they're talking openly about dismantling Social Security, and then they're going to take those so-called savings, which are you, the American people, and give permanent tax breaks to the same guy that is dismantling the federal government and giving himself private contracts. This is a total scam, a total scam. Like, folks need to wake up. This is not about waste, fraud, and abuse. This is a scam. They are running a scam on the American people and on the federal government.
I think she laid it out really well, don't you? New Mexico Representative Melanie Stansberry. And I've got another cut here. She put James Comer on the spot, trapped him into admitting that Congress is giving up their power to Trump in order to make all of these cuts permanent. Let's listen to cut 288.
If Donald Trump or Elon Musk decided that an agency and its operations was unnecessary, under your bill, they could just eliminate it. Is that correct?
It requires Congress to vote on it.
Mr. Chairman, as I read it, your bill is giving the congressional authority to the executive to do it without Congress.
No, that's not true.
Can you
You're misinterpreting the bill.
Can you please point us to the language in the bill that retains Congress's authority?
It requires a privileged resolution in Congress.
Can you please point us to the page and the line number that requires congressional consent for reorganization of the federal government?
In sections 908 and 909 of Title V.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, section 908 says striking December 31st, 1985. Can you please refer to the language that retains Congress's authority under the United States Constitution to rein in the executive to stop it from eliminating unnecessary duties, reducing federal employees, amending rules and regulations, and eliminating executive departments, agencies, independent establishments, offices, or officers of the executive branch.
Answer that question. This bill amends Title V, Section 908 and 909.
Again, Mr. Chairman, can you please point us to the place in your bill where it retains Congress's constitutional authority to rein in the executive branch?
You're intentionally misrepresenting the bill.
Mr. Chairman, I'm reading the bill, and I'm asking you as the sponsor to point to us where your bill, which you are trying to pass through this committee today, retains the authority of Congress.
It changes the date to 2026. It amends the date.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just going to read from your bill. I've got 40 seconds here. It allows
The bill amends current law. What you're looking at, what you're looking for already exists as law.
Mr. Chairman, your bill, as introduced here, allows the executive to eliminate any executive department, agency, independent establishment, or corporation within the United States, an office or an officer, to essentially repeal, amend any regulation, and to eliminate anything that the executive branch determines to be unnecessary. And I strongly oppose this bill because this is a blank check to Donald Trump and Elon Musk to continue to dismantle the federal government.
Amazing stuff.
Wow.
I mean, she lays it out.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it right there.
To the fire.
If you want to know what's going on, they're going to cede power to Trump in the House. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in just a moment, we don't have time for this next cut, but she also points out that the Senate is also ceding power. But we'll get to that cut in just a few moments.
Okay. This portion of John and Gordy in the Morning brought to you by Verlo Mattress of Madison. The Verlo Mismatch sale is back, the biggest sale of the year. Mismatch on the outside, the same Verlo long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside. So hurry now, save an additional 10% off of every single mattress and box spring. Wake up and sleep better. Verlo Mattress of Madison, 2 locations, east side and west side. And go to Verlo.com to find out more about their Verlo Comfort Guarantee. Also, the Text to Win contest, the word this hour, the key word in our Break into Spring Text to Win statewide contest, the word is nest. That's N-E-S-T. N as in Nancy, E-S-T. Nest. You have until 8 a.m. for your chance to win a pair of Brewers tickets and get entered into the grand prize drawing of a brand new queen-size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison. Nest is the key word. Back with more of John and Gordy in the Morning in just a moment.
He would have gone on. I would not have had time. I didn't have time eventually. Anyway.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh,
Doing
Brittany.
Hey.
Brittany.
It's
Hello. What?
I was gonna say it's supposed to be icy up in Wausau today, right?
Yeah, so
Oh.
there's like 60,000 people without power up here.
Oh,
in the
geez.
Northeast, Wisconsin.
Oh my
yeah.
God, mention that. Yeah.
It's my parents' anniversary, and they said that they wanted to go out, but they probably wouldn't be able to with ice on the roads and stuff like that.
Oh, I think they can. I think they'll be able to get away with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
the sun's out. We're gonna get above freezing now.
Oh, that's good. It's stuck in your head now, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, yeah, this is too new. I don't know if I could for that. 92.7. John and Gordy in the mornings, not in the afternoons this time.
Not this week.
My goodness.
It's the last day of March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
30 degrees. Today's high in the mid-40s. This portion of John and Gordy in the morning brought to you by David J. Frank. They are your turnkey one-stop landscaping resource, celebrating 65 years in business, doing lawn care, flower care, trimming, shaping, pruning. You've seen their work at the UW campus, also up around the state capitol and elsewhere in southern Wisconsin. David J. Frank, the largest landscape contractor in the state. They have branches nearby in Madison, also over in Milwaukee and Kenosha and other locations. Find out a whole lot more by going to their excellent website, davidjfrank.com. That's davidjfrank.com.
All right, let's find out what's going on in the weather.
Yes.
We've got Brittany Merlot on the line. And Brittany, I don't know what happened, but I swear we had a little bit of snow last night because my windshield was icy and snowy. I couldn't believe it. I went out yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, to get some sub sandwiches for the family. So I did use the car over the weekend. I know I did. And I used it yesterday, and then I came out this morning. I had to scrape off the windows, and I was really late for work. I mean, I was 2 hours late, and I just
surprise.
Making that up now.
I know. So
I was trying to give you a free pass on a PTO day if you wanted it or something. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Right.
I sent you some of my weather, a little dose of it.
Yeah.
Man, we got hit hard.
I think it just snowed in Middleton for 5 minutes.
Maybe it did.
Yeah.
Well, you park in the garage now, Mr.
There was nothing.
Garage Guy.
Okay.
Luxury.
That's what they call me, Mr. Garage Guy. Brittany, and you, so things are really quite icy up where you are in Wausau, right?
Right.
Yes. Now, I didn't even get to go outside and use the car this weekend because that was a dumb idea to do if you lived in Northeast Wisconsin. I mean, we were in an ice storm warning, and it actually happened. We got anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of ice accumulating on everything.
Wow.
Sidewalks,
Okay.
the cars, the branches, the power lines. Tons of trees were snapping. It sounded like gunshots in the woods. It was scary.
Wow.
I mean, crashing through cars, crashing through property, power lines on top of streets. That's what we were dealing with. And then it flipped over to snow. I picked up about 3 inches of snowfall here in Wausau, but up north in Ashland and Iron County, they got 10 inches of snowfall on top of it.
Sounds like a demolition derby up there, you know?
Pretty much.
That's amazing. That's pretty bad. So what about us down here? Did we get anything? Am I just imagining the ice and snow on my windshield this morning, or what's the deal? What happened?
You did get some, but not enough to really report or trace or track because it wasn't that much. But
Okay,
you did. It
enough
flipped
to
over.
scrape off my window. Got it. Okay, good. See, I knew it happened.
What can we expect the rest of today and the next few days?
Not too bad. We've got a little system rolling through, which will be tomorrow evening and then into Wednesday. So today, sunny, breezy, mid-40s, perfect. We'll see clouds increasing tomorrow afternoon. Highs will still hit the mid-40s, but we do have a wintry mix possible, probably around 5 o'clock or so. That could be rain, snow mix. Then it kind of flips over to more snow chances as those temperatures drop overnight. Not looking at too much of an accumulation there, maybe just an inch. And then it flips to rain on Wednesday. And then thunderstorms are also possible with highs in the upper 60s. So no shoveling. Just might be slippery out there tomorrow evening.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't involve snow or ice, I'm there. All right.
Now I know why you live down there. I get it. You
That's
get
right.
the rain more than the snow.
Yeah.
We're below that imaginary line between south and up north.
Yep,
All
Highway
right.
29. That's what I think it is.
That's it. What it is. Okay. Thanks a lot, Brittany.
Brittany
You're welcome.
Merlot. Thank
All
you so
right.
much. Brittany Merlot is our WMDX meteorologist. Want to remind you our text to win contest. The keyword this hour is nest. Okay, you have till 8 a.m. to get that word to us.
I think we
pair of
found-
brewer tickets.
Found
up
a
for
new
grabs.
political star, Melanie Stansberry. She laid it out very, very clearly. If you're wondering what was happening, was Trump going to have the ability to do what he's doing by clearing house, getting rid of our actual U.S. government? So here is another cut, 289, and she's talking about the Senate majority. Let's listen.
They're going to dismantle the Medicaid system. Now they're talking openly about dismantling Social Security. And then they're going to take those so-called savings, which are you, the American people, and give permanent tax breaks to the same guy that is dismantling the federal government and giving himself private contracts. This is a total scam. A total scam. Like, folks need to wake up. This is not about waste, fraud, and abuse. This is a scam. They are running a scam on the American people.
That's right.
And on the federal government. And what this bill does, because we had a little bit of debate about this earlier, you know, they're saying, oh, this just preserves congressional authority. This doesn't actually expand any authority. If that was true, then why the hell would you want to try to pass this bill? Mm-hmm. And if you read the underlying statute, since my colleague across the aisle alleged that I don't have good reading comprehension, we downloaded the original statute with the amendments that the underlying bill that is being heard here today would do to the underlying statute. And what it does is it eliminates Senate authority to stop this bad stuff from happening, because it essentially only requires a simple majority resolution in the Senate to gut hundreds of years of federal statutes creating agencies that help the American people so that Elon Musk can make more money. And that is what this bill is all about.
Well, I hope we are all straight on this now. I mean, this is it. This is the end game.
It is.
We don't have a government to back us up anymore. They have dismantled it. It's not there. It's not going to be there.
No.
And there's nothing to do after that. I mean, you know, basically we have a dictator, a guy who controls all the elements of government at this point, just from the White House alone. This madman, this lunatic.
He's grabbing
power. I don't know
yeah.
how I missed it, like last week for Today in History. March 23rd, 1933, Germany passed the Enabling Act, which did exactly this same thing.
The same
gave
thing.
Hitler all of the power to make and break the laws that he wanted to.
History repeating itself.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sam.
Okay. It is 7:29, and after the Midwest Farm Report, we will have much more of John and Gordy in the morning for this Monday, the last day of March. Stay with us.
John and Gordy in the morning, as we were saying. Let the sunshine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Shoplift Emporium, the world's first store intended to fill the needs of today's busy kleptomaniacs. Our cluttered aisles, unstaffed dressing rooms, mirrorless walls, and untrained, uncaring security guards make it almost impossible for us to catch you. So why pay retail? Why pay wholesale? Come on down to Ed's Shoplift Emporium, where everything on sale is a real steal.
Sounds like the Trump administration, doesn't it? Just let Elon wander the halls and take everything.
Whatever he wants.
If he can do it, why can't we do it? Why don't we just walk into a government building?
Yeah, start taking stuff. Yeah. 7:35, it's 30 degrees, highs in the mid-40s for today. We'll see some sunshine, still kind of cloudy. This portion of John and Gordy in the Morning brought to you by Verlo Mattress of Madison. The Verlo Mismatch Sale is back. Biggest sale of the year. Mismatch on the outside, long-lasting craftsmanship on the inside. Hurry in now, save an additional 10% off of every mattress and box spring. Wake up and sleep better. Verlo Mattress of Madison, 2 locations, east and west, or go online at verlo.com. And a reminder, it's our break into spring text to win statewide contest. We're in a contest hour right now for a keyword. The keyword is nest. N-E-S-T. N is in Nancy. Nest, like a bird nest, okay? Your chance to win this hour. You got to text in before the top of the hour. Brewers club-level tickets are up for grabs, and every entry puts you into the grand prize drawing for a brand-new queen-size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison, including a mattress, sheets, and more. Again, the text word, the keyword to text in on the Civic Media app is nest. John?
As you know, Doug out in St. Francis suggested we have a taser contest of some sort, tase each other, but we decided that tasing Doug would be the best thing.
Yeah.
And after we said that, he texted us and said, taser contest, taser contest, taser contest. Doug, you're the victim on this one.
We're going to set that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're definitely going to have him as the target. All right, let's go to the phones right now. We've got Dick, who's been waiting an awful long time. Thanks for waiting, Dick.
Dick, go ahead.
Couple quick things. The only thing I could disagree with her is it is about waste, fraud, and abuse, but it's about that being put upon the American people by Musk, Trump, and all the Republicans who stand by and do nothing about it. But to the media last week, I started condemning them about they'll let this story about the security breach go. To their credit, not like they'd care or even know. They're not. But I've got a way that this can never happen again to this administration.
Really?
Ever. It'll be airtight.
Okay, let's hear it.
Why not just tell Russia? Why not just tell Russia, China, any of our adversaries? Because I guarantee you they're not going to leak it to anybody else. Just tell them. I mean, now you got Hegstead taking his wife into meetings.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
what the
right.
hell?
That's right. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Right? No, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Why?
This is just a cluster thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. And the megas are just sitting by, and not just sitting by, actually probably voting. I heard that a few very strong Republican areas of the state have now opened up their elections for early voting, which they were against that. It was terrible. It was corrupt.
Yeah. What happened?
It was filled with fraud, and now they've opened up their elections. They are doing the same thing. And one story I had where last year at the same time they had in an election like this 60 votes at that certain point in time. Mm-hmm. Well, now they've got 300 because they've opened it up early for all the individuals in these conservative areas. And I think we're in real trouble. As Maggie Dawn had mentioned a number of times, and I'm really glad she said something because she's an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And, BS, you know what that stands for, the
Brad
candidate,
Schimel.
yes. So she mentioned that she thinks Brad Schimel is one of the dumbest people she's ever seen. I've been saying that for years. I mean, I've put up pictures of Brad Schimel next to Homer Simpson.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They look alike. They seriously look alike, and they talk in a similar way. And so when she said that, it confirmed what I thought. I mean, it was easy. It's very apparent. But apparently conservative voters don't care about how smart a person is, how qualified they are. You know, this thing about being qualified for a job instead of looking at the color of your skin, you know. Are you qualified? That's just lie. It's just BS.
Well, tomorrow's election day, so we will find out by tomorrow night and see where things stand.
And of course, you know, seeing Elon on stage giving away $1 million in a cheese hat. That just all right.
Makes you angry. I know it makes you angry.
It really does. Ron Johnson came out and he was saying, oh, you know, all this money that Elon's throwing at it, it keeps up with all the other liberal billionaires that are throwing money at it as well. You know, that's his excuse. Let's listen to cut 293 here. Listen.
Okay. How do you take the money out of politics and other?
I don't think
arms race?
I don't think you do. Listen, people have, so I don't like how expensive these races become, but in terms of what's at stake and what. You know, how much we're spending in comparison to other things people have compared to how much we spend on peanut butter a year. That's not the issue. The issue, first of all, is free speech. And that would be something else I've got to thank Elon Musk for doing, is buying X, Twitter. Probably was not a particularly good investment, but he reopened that to free speech.
Oh.
So again, this is about free speech.
It is?
When you've got the leftist media, and I'm looking at you, controlled, the media by and large controlled by leftists, the only way you can compete is with money and paid media. It's not a fair fight. It's not a level playing field, but we've got to be able to compete with free speech.
Oh, really? Because Elon Musk is, stopping people from posting on X in Turkey, I believe, because they don't want anybody to know about the protests going on in Turkey. He's also pulled Starlink in the Ukraine for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about free speech, right? I mean, it's really opening it up. Unbelievable. And, he talked about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, how much peanut butter is he eating?
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, we had a great reporter here in Madison for a while, AJ Bayapur. He's in Milwaukee now. He's still doing great stuff, and he posted an answer to this particular cut. He said, "For what it's worth, Americans spend $2 billion on peanut butter in 2022, okay, according to a CNBC report." Which was really stunning to me, too. Total campaign spending on 2024 federal elections was $16 billion, according to Open Secret. So, $2 billion in peanut butter. The 2024 federal election, $16 billion. Yeah. So it's pretty close. A lot of people are spending money on peanut butter. Now there'll be a run on peanut butter of some sort.
Great.
Let's get to a cut here. Again, I mentioned earlier that my sons, Gen Zers, they're black and white. They believe very strongly in everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no waffling with these guys. And I mentioned, I'm going to play a couple of cuts from Bill Maher, and they called him a fascist. And he tries to appear in the middle of the road, but he really isn't. And they said, you shouldn't play anything from Bill Maher. I'm going to play something from Bill Maher again. And this is a bunch of cuts that he put together about the Trump adoration cult. So why don't we play that? It's 287, and it is pretty pathetic. Okay.
So those on the right who keep asking me, Bill, you're so good at roasting the woke nonsense peddlers. Why don't you go all the way and join us? Let me give you the short answer. Because I don't want to live in North Korea. Kim Jong-un has state stenographers who follow him everywhere and scribble his genius ideas into their notebooks and applaud. Well, Republicans, that's you now. Republican Congressman Addison McDowell wants to name Dulles Airport after Trump. It'll be like other airports, except the international terminal only has departures. There's also a bill in Congress to add Trump to Mount Rushmore because, like Washington, he's a patriot. Like Teddy Roosevelt, he's a renegade. And like Abraham Lincoln, he's not really helping the theater scene in Washington, D.C. Yeah, the Kennedy Center is not something I really care a lot about, but I do care that an American president doesn't see anything wrong with him personally taking it over, or that his communications director, Stephen Chung, said it was justified because Trump, quote, is a virtuoso, and his musical choices represent a brilliant palette of vibrant colors when others often paint in pale pastels. Jesus, Republicans dance like Trump now. They name weapons systems after him. They've even dressed like him with the trademark suit and tie. Available exclusively at Banana Republic. Some even talk like him now with the crazy over-the-top exaggerations. About our new tariff policy, Commerce Secretary Ludnick said, "These policies are the most important thing America has ever had." Yeah, take that Emancipation Proclamation and Louisiana Purchase. And these bills they've introduced to make Trump's birthday a holiday and put him on currency and Mount Rushmore. This is not what we do here, guys. He's still in office, for God's sake. Can we see how it turns out before we put him on a stamp? If I admit that there is a level of Trump derangement syndrome on the left, will you admit that this shit is also deranged? All the people on the right who say they certainly don't agree with me on everything, but they respect the way I keep it real about the left and like me because I'm honest, well, that's a two-way street. Are you being honest? At Trump's speech this month to a joint session of Congress, he claimed the government had spent $8 million making mice transgender. It did not. The $8 million was for transgenic mice, mice that were being genetically modified to study how hormone treatments affect human health. We were splicing their genes, not making them compete in women's sports. What's worrisome about it is that nobody around the president would dare tell him that transgenic is not transgender. It makes you think that if Trump came down one day and his fly was open, Republicans wouldn't tell him. They'd just start showing up with their fly open.
And that's it. That's great stuff, isn't
Bill
it?
Maher.
Yeah, it is. It's good. All right, what's that?
Well, you got me doing math on air again. We're talking about campaign spending and Ron Johnson saying that Americans spend as much on peanut butter as they do on political campaigns. So I took campaign spending for national campaigns in 2009, which was just under $600 million. Ran it through an inflation calculator, which goes to $1.3 billion in today's money. That's still way less than the $16 billion spent in 2022 on national political campaigns.
Yeah. It's just amazing, isn't it? Wow.
Thank you for doing the math on that.
Wow.
We don't have a calculator in
No.
here.
Well, that's our excuse, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right.
It is 7:47. This portion of John and Gordy in the Morning is brought to you by our friends at David J. Frank, your turnkey one-stop landscaping resource. They are celebrating 65 years doing lawn care, flower care. They do it all, trimming, shaping, pruning, and they've done plenty of work around Madison and all over southern Wisconsin. In fact, David J. Frank is the largest landscape contractor in southern Wisconsin, with branches in Madison, Milwaukee, Kenosha, and elsewhere around the state. You can find out a lot more about David J. Frank at their website, davidjfrank.com. That's davidjfrank.com.
All right, we got another text here. Musk deletes a lot of tweets and bans people on X when he doesn't like what they're saying while boosting fascist rhetoric. Some free speech absolutists there. I agree with that. That's I'm running across reporters who are getting banned or momentarily banned for a while anyway, posting their stuff on there and talking about it. So yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's huge, and he's a big liar. Can I say that? Yeah.
I think you can say that. Yeah, you can safely say that.
Oh yeah, and also Musk said he also pressured Reddit to clamp down on people insulting him or cheering his stock diving.
Yeah. Okay. It is 7:49. We will be back with tidbits, odds and ends, leftovers right around the corner on John and Gordy in the morning.
Terrific if you like eating leftovers.
Leftovers.
Leftovers?
I kept the leftovers.
The leftovers!
Just some leftovers.
Leftovers for a week and a half.
He ate those leftovers.
Funeral leftovers.
Leftovers. Enjoy.
All right, we're going to enjoy it. We've got Tim Walsh coming up in just a moment talking about enjoying the Tesla stock going down. He apologized, kind of, not really.
Okay. We'll get to that in a moment. It's 7:52, cloudy and 30 degrees, highs in the mid-40s this afternoon with a mix of clouds and some sunshine. And this portion of John and Gordy brought to you by the Verlo Mismatch Sale. Verlo Mattress of Madison, the biggest sale of the year. Mismatch on the outside, same long-lasting Verlo craftsmanship on the inside. Hurry in now. Save an additional 10% off of every single mattress and box spring. Wake up and sleep better. Verlo Mattress of Madison, 2 locations, east and west. Go to verlo.com for more information. And one more time, you have just a few minutes till the top of the hour to get in the text to win keyword from the Break Into Spring Text to Win statewide contest. The keyword this hour is nest. That's nest with an N. Nancy is the keyword. No.
Are you trying to think of an E letter or E word now?
No, I can't.
All right, it's just nest.
Nest.
Yep.
We've had a few misspellings. Some other words have been entered in, but nest is the keyword, okay? Right. And you'll win a pair of Brewer tickets this hour, the one winner, and then all those entries go in for the big grand prize drawing, which is queen-size mattress set from Verlo Mattress of Madison. Okay.
All right, so it's nest, right?
Nest. Like a bird nest.
N-E-S-T.
N-E-S-T. That's the way to spell it, yes. Yes, what?
It's close to N-E-S-T.
L-E-S. Nestle's makes the very best.
See?
Chocolate.
All right.
Yeah, but it's nest.
Let's get to...
over to you.
Tim Walsh, you talked about Elon, angry about Tim being glad that Tesla stock is going down, and this is cut 278. Let's listen to what Tim Walsh had to say about it.
All right.
278?
Yeah.
We don't have a 278. Did you forget how to count again?
It's our missing cut of the morning.
How did we miss 278? You mean I skipped?
Apparently,
I actually skipped.
it doesn't
I
matter.
skipped the number. I actually skipped the number.
It's okay.
I'll do some digging for it, but in the meantime,
I have it right in front of me.
You do?
Yeah.
but I don't have it right in front of me, John.
Okay, while you guys sort this out, I want to mention that tomorrow's guest will be from the Dane County Humane Society. Lisa Bernard will be joining us tomorrow. That'll be good. Did you find it yet? We have a missing cut. Catherine Lake has entered the studio. Hi, Catherine. How you doing?
Perfect timing.
Got a couple of minutes here. You want to jump in, or just want to let us twist in the wind over here?
I don't know how a cut managed to not get uploaded here.
Does it matter? I mean,
well, no, it does. But
it's
you know,
missing.
it does matter.
Okay.
I'm personally offended by this.
It's your fault.
Can understand. What was the cut saying? If we could listen to the cut right now, what would it be saying? Why don't you act it out
If
for
we
us?
could hear it, it would be Tim Walls in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah. What would he be saying?
I've just uploaded it. Can you see it up there?
Okay.
In our Dropbox. Can you see it up there?
Things are going very well.
Here we go. It doesn't take long for me to recover from this mess.
Okay, let's hear Tim Waltz.
I mean, you had Tim Waltz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with a Tesla stock price where the stock price had gone in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do! What a creep! What a jerk!
Evil.
Like who derives joy from that?
I do. I think every one of us derives joy from that. What do you think, huh? Anybody else? I know I do.
I was at a family gathering over the weekend, and I was talking with my aunt and uncle who own a Tesla.
Yeah.
And my uncle also works at he works at Smart Motors in town. But she was they own a Tesla, and she, after everything that's been going on, desperately wanted to sell this Tesla, even though they own it. He had to talk her down and say, "We own the car. As much as you hate everything that Elon Musk is doing, we're gonna keep it, and we're gonna fight him in other ways." Being glad about Tesla stock tumbling, I guess, can be one of those ways.
Yes. Yeah. Wouldn't you agree, Catherine?
I would.
Here in the studio. Yeah.
I
okay.
would. I would totally. I will take Schadenfreude any way I can get it when it comes to Elon Musk.
All right.
Did you like him dancing around in the cheese head over the weekend when he was handing out that $1 million check?
Did you see the coverage on that?
He didn't get stopped. He did not get stopped from giving out cash for votes. It's so frightening.
I know. Josh Call was acting very quickly. Normally it takes a long time to do all these things, but he asked the Supreme Court to stop the action from taking place, and it didn't happen. And the new millionaire is wearing a MAGA hat. Make America Go Away hat.
We got another millionaire. Well, maybe it's just the one vote. It's just the one vote. That's not going to put him over the edge.
No.
Well, voting day is tomorrow. We'll find out by tomorrow night how it all shakes out. If you want to get any last-minute information, you can go to myvote.wi.gov. That's myvote.wi.gov.
See, my little campaign to get everybody in Wisconsin to sign that petition so they can get $100, it wouldn't hurt Elon very much, but I think we all would have benefited with a $100 check.
Take the money and run.
I would have bought you guys coffee.
Oh.
I mean, he's already got all our information taken over the government offices.
Yeah.
So what else could we give up? Just sign the damn petition, make $100, and walk away a little bit richer and taking advantage of the Elon Musk scam. Did you hear all the cuts I had today?
I did.
Wasn't that a great explanation of what's really happening? We accept a lot of this stuff as
You're
just.
still talking. What are you doing? The show's over, John. The show's over. Just walk away
we
from
didn't
the mic.
even get to Sam bringing back his
push-ups.
VW bug.
Something.
We'll have to get into that tomorrow.
Yes.
Also, Lisa Bernard will join us tomorrow from the Dane County Humane Society. Stephanie Miller is next. We'll talk to you in 22 hours. Have a great day from John and Gordy.
John and Gordy in the morning, as we were saying. Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.